What's good? I'm Nomad the Native. I'm a curator, a podcaster for the Snippet Podcast, and a creative conversationalist from PG. I'm happy to be with you guys today for this panel event, this very candid conversation we finna have. We are here at Birdland. I'm sorry. I'm very easy to make laugh. We're here in Birdland Records in Northeast Washington, D.C. It's beautiful out here, and we're happy to have you guys with us. Let me see, what else what's my card say? Oh, so the reason we're here today, obviously, is the Inner Circle 10's panel. We're celebrating in advance for O Slice's Inner Circle 10.
Clap it up.
Give it up.
Incredible.
Loving it. So, oh man. What's good, Ray? So yeah, we got 3 amazing panelists. I'm just the moderator. I happen to be in the room, but they're the panelists, and I'm gonna start by going from the end all the way in, starting with a musician, an instrumentalist, an Emmy Award-winning composer from Baltimore, Maryland. Make some noise for the founder of Love Groove Festival, John Tyler.
How y'all doing? Good to be here. Thank you.
All right, next to him on his left, your right, is a captivating songstress, musician hailing from PG County, my home, the creator of AV Sessions. Please put your hands together for Miss Alex Vaughn. Okay, and of course, last but not least, the rapper, the poet, the artist, the fly every time you see her.
Come on.
Miss Flows Nice. Oh, Slice. What's good? So before we get into the conversation, like in earnest, I want to give a couple of thank yous, right? Obviously, thank you to Birdland for hosting us, for having us in the building. Thank you so much. St. James Tea is a sponsor of this event, so shout out to St. James Tea. Shout out to the Higher Learning Team. Yeah. And I can't forget my squad. Shout out to the Snippet Podcast crew, filming and making sure that the audio is correct. We appreciate y'all. So each of you, amazing, impressive artists in your own right? And not only have you taken your talents on stages and to any place that you possibly could, but you also put yourselves in a position to create platforms to showcase the community, the creative community that you're a part of, and that's a big deal, in my opinion, especially because I've done the exact same thing. I created a platform to showcase. So like, I want to get into the why, like the mind state that brought you to that place to create that panel, or create this panel, create a concert, create an open mic, create a whole festival. So I'm gonna start with AV.
All right.
When and how did the idea for AV Sessions come to you?
So, hey guys, I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces from some point in all of our journeys, so it's good to see you guys. So the first time that I started considering creating a platform for the creatives in the area was probably like 2015. I remember putting out my first EP, which is about to hit 10 years. It's just beyond me. But figuring out, like, how can I perform? Like, how can I find the platform? How can I create a network? How can I get into the scene? And at the time, we had, like, some of our DMV stars that are beyond now doing shows right around here in Union Market, but I lived like really deep in PG. So it was like almost impossible for me to get a ride to the metro and to just like be out late enough to get a ride back home from the metro. So, me and one of my good friends, Aunt Mojo, we would sit in her room and I would just, shout out to Aunt Mojo. We would sit in her room and we would create music together and just figure out like how we can get on these platforms. And honestly, we couldn't figure it out because we felt like we were too weird, a little too awkward. too fried, whatever the case was, just too distracted or just didn't feel like we had the resources. So that was when the seed was first planted. I didn't know necessarily that I wanted it to be an open mic. I just knew I wanted to find a way. Then fast forward about 3 years, I'm just working jobs, just living, a regular figure it outer life, and ended up moving to California. And the first time I went out there, of course your thing is like, oh, I gotta find out how I can network, get into the spaces. And so I found an open mic, and it was just incredible. Now LA is a way bigger ecosystem with different types of musicians on different levels. And to be honest, they weren't all that good. The musicians were fire, but I'll be straight up, they ate. But the artists that came, not everybody was that great. But it was a lot of just like bravery and audacity. And another thing that had stood out to me was there weren't MP3s. Everything was banned. So whether you knew the band, and I didn't know anyone. So, but I'm also a musician. So, I killed it. But regardless, it was just like, figuring out how to maneuver with other musicians, how to move a crowd, and whether they respond to you or not, just having the bravery and the audacity to get up there. So immediately I connected with the guy who ran the open mic up there. And I was just asking him, like, how did this come about? And he was giving me his story. And I just kept thinking, like, damn, there's nothing like this in the DMV. There were some open mics that I heard about, but they were, again, I lived deep in PG. They were a little too far uptown. And I was like, I don't know. And then they were 21 and up. And I might have, I don't know. I was just barely there. And then some of my peers and artist friends weren't of age yet either. So I don't know. I was just asking around, and I have been performing at venues. Again, not from really rubbing shoulders for people. I mean, just kind of being in my bubble and creating. Because again, like what I felt like was limited access was really just like extra time to build my own arsenal and build my own catalog and just build my own knowledge without like outside thoughts or like optics. It's just like creating because this is what I want to do. So through that, I started to gain traction, and then I started, talking with the owners of venues as I was performing at them, and I just started bringing the idea, and then, I birthed AV Sessions in 2018 in about May, and it started off at Smith Public Trust, rest in peace, Smith Public Trust. And that was a 21 and up venue. And I was just kind of navigating and maneuvering. It was just myself. It was my publicist, who's also like my sister. And I need to note this because my sister is my publicist, but I was her first client. So it wasn't like I was like seeking a publicist or like I just gathered this team. And same thing with my manager. I wasn't his first artist, but I wasn't seeking a manager. It was just people that I felt I connected with on a human level, who saw me as a talent, but also saw me as a person. So we just built together, and the three of us were just kind of like freestyling, and he has skill with like talking to people, she has skill with computers, and I'm the talent. So we would just kind of freestyle, and at first I would just reach out to friends, and I think everybody on this panel has been an artist for AV Sessions, because I was just like, trying to figure out how to bring the people that I know to a platform so we can get our 10,000 hours and we can engage and we can create our own network and start our own villages. And, it came with a lot of troubleshooting and trial and error, and now we are 7, almost 8 years in, and we still have trial and error. Like somehow we survived through the pandemic, and we were doing virtual AV sessions. And through the pandemic, I told myself, because I had moved back home, then ended up going back out to California. And I was like, I don't know if I can still carry this the same. But at the same time, as I think about it, when I was running AV Sessions before I moved to California, I was getting off work at Zara and going straight to the venue to go and support and be there for whether it be 7 people in the crowd or 70 people, like really just learning the ebbs and flows and locking in on why this network and why this platform is being created. And so without like rambling, I just think what got me to creating AV Sessions and sustaining it was really being true to wanting to create a platform for all creatives to get their 10,000 hours, create their own tables, create their own networks, versus figuring out how to break into a table that you probably don't even like that food. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of uncomfortable moments. It's a lot of pivoting. And, you know, I don't really make much from it. But I do get paid and rewarded in so many different ways. And I'm excited for what comes of AV sessions in the future.
Hey, hey.
Yes.
All right,
Incredible.
so I'm gonna shift it down to Mr. John. All right, so like, can you paint the scene for us? What spurred on a teenage John Tyler to create an entire music festival? Like, paint the scene, brother.
Well, first, I'm from West Baltimore. I'm not from out here.
Stupid.
It's kind of a long story. I guess I was really into like all the different scenes. Like I'd be in Baltimore, you can go to like Stoops, you see the best jazz musicians. You go to skate parks, you see the best punk musicians. You go to East Baltimore underground shows where Roaches is all the best hip hop people. Very gritty, very dirty. But I kind of noticed like I wanted a platform for everyone to showcase their work on like a really grand scale and for all of us to be united. Because at the time I was like really looking at Atlanta and I would see how like they had Janelle Monáe to Young Thug, the Childish Gambino, and they like saw each other as one. So I kind of wanted that the same for Baltimore. So I kind of figured it out. I had a job at Starbucks, saved up all my money, curated the show, and we've been just kept doing it ever since. And now it kind of turned into being a symbol of hope for Baltimore, because a lot of people that's not from Baltimore are scared to go there, and then we do our festivals in the area that people from Baltimore are scared to go to. And the fact that we can do that, and it's like the most joyous event ever, that, you know, so many people can come together, so many people can get behind it, I think is quite incredible. But that's kind of the quick backstory behind it. Behind that, yeah.
Blessing and unifying your community. We love it. We love it.
Absolutely.
Hey, man. So, Slice. It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years.
My fault.
Technically 9?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the 10th. Oh, we starting the 10th year. Okay, so we kicking it off. Okay, so can you tell me? Can you tell me of like the transition from it just being an idea, or that initial idea of what it started as, and then where it transitioned from that to like not worrying about whether or not it's going to work, like whether or not you can execute the idea. What was that transition at the very beginning looking like?
Okay, great question, by the way. So the Inner Circle started off as like a rent party. So that's essentially where like musicians during the Renaissance, Harlem Renaissance, they would come together and they would throw like art events in someone's apartment in order to help whoever's apartment pay the rent. And so that idea came to me because I wanted to put out music and I was broke, fresh out of college, and I'm like, dang, like I work on music all the time and it's like I'm struggling to put it out because I don't have a studio I can go to, I don't have funds, I don't have this and I don't have that. And so from it being born from an idea of just like not having, and then like looking at my community and being like, okay, but like I have a friend who sells cupcakes, so like, okay, she can come and like bring her cupcakes, and then like I paint, so like I can sell my paintings, and like if somebody buys this painting of like Mojo Jojo, right, like I'll use that and put it towards a music video, and just kind of like looking at my community and finding resources that I did have when I didn't have money. It just came from a really like earnest place because I was able to like really like, it started in community because I did not have already, but I had community. So from going from that to, because it was like at a community center the first year, it was, I think maybe like 75 people. I mean, not bad for the first one. Not it was like 75 people, and it was just like super cute, and they were like friends from like elementary school, middle school, high school, college came through. My friends from church came through. Just people that I had met along the way in my journey. And for it to like transform to what it is now. What was this? What was
What was the question again?
yeah, what was the origins? No, yeah,
The transition, like
the transition.
of when it went from just being an idea of like, all right, I can do this, I can execute
Okay.
this, to like, or can I execute this to, oh yeah, definitely, let's do this again.
Okay.
Remember that thing we did last year? We're
Yeah,
gonna do it
yeah.
again.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
bet.
Like,
So we're gonna talk about number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 1 was really cool. But like I said, number 1. Oh, also the Inner Circle is on my birthday every year. So
Happy birthday.
no, listen, Libra season. But the very first time I did it even though it was very art focused, it just kind of felt like this is something really cool to do for my birthday. Like this is just like a really unique birthday idea. Like we did it. This was fun. People came out. We sold the art. Yay. And then I remember when my birthday came around the next year, it was like 2 weeks until the show. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be a show, but it was like 2 weeks until my birthday. And I was like, what should I do? And my friend was like, you should do what you did last year. And I was like, that was cute, but we already did that. So like, what's the, I don't know if it's going to work again. And they were like, just try. And I think that for me, the moment that it came together, that it was something really special was that year 2, we had it at Half Smoke. And Half Smoke, I don't know if y'all remember, but this was like 2017, so Half Smoke was popping. Like, it was like the fresh new restaurant. We was loving them hot dogs, bro. Like, yeah, tasty, it was good. Like, the VHSs were still fresh. Like, it was cool in there. And I remember after talking to them, not to throw anybody under the bus, but the day of the event, like, we were supposed to, like, have the whole indoors, like, blocked off. And we got there. And they were like, yeah, like, we don't know anything about an event happening today. I said, y'all, there's like 50 people already here. So help us out. Like what can we do? And they were like, well, we can't block off our restaurant for you today, but you guys can sit on the patio and have your event on the patio. And I'm like, do y'all know it's October? Do y'all know it's October? Like right now, like I just came from outside. It's cold. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. We allowed to fuck it? Fuck it. And I was like, sure. And then so when I looked into the crowd and like, it started filling up, it was like maybe like 100, 125 people outside on this patio with this size. And like they got the heat lamps on and people who don't even know each other are sitting like this and like listening to the art. And like not for 1 hour, not for 2 hours, not for 3 hours, not for 4 hours. Cause like they just let us sit out there until people went home. And I was like, oh, like this is a community. Like this is like people care about this. I'm not gonna lie, like by hour 2.5, 3, I went inside. People was buying me drinks. It's still my birthday, you know what I'm saying? But like I would come back out and like the open mic was going and people were still like, poetry, like, and I'm like, oh, like this is something that could be important for people, like, because I'm seeing like my poetry friends mixing with my college friends, mixing with my rap friends, mixing with just like people who just like walked in from being inside. And I'm like, oh, like there's a space for this. This is doing something for the people here. So that was when it transitioned from like, oh, this is a cool idea we had to like, this is something that needs to happen.
I like that. Thank you. Can you make a little? Thank you. So, all right, I want to move into segment 2, and that's about like maintenance, maintaining. Because getting something is only like getting your foot in the door and starting something. It's amazing, but you gotta keep that thing going. You like a lot of times it requires expanding your team. A lot of times that requires you learning a few new skills or being disciplined and practicing that discipline. So, with that being said, I'm gonna open the questions up to all three of you guys. So whoever wants to jump in first can jump in, right? How do you balance your creative career as growing musicians with being curators of platforms that require you to be present?
Boy, I don't know.
I know for me, I didn't for a minute. And I just this past year, I just got like a full team because we received like a multi-year grant where like my team can have salaries.
Yes.
Yeah, so because of that, I'm now kind of leaning more into doing art, and I'm actually about to have a full trip to Central and South America for like 5 months just to do art.
Hey.
And the team can just do its thing. But to be honest, I had to sacrifice my artistry to keep this event alive because it's so much work. Even though it's like one full day, it takes the whole year to to put it together. And our event is a lot of moving parts. Like there's a zoo, there's 70 vendors, there's an art gallery, there's some music performances, there's taking care of the art. It's a lot of different aspects to doing a festival, which is very time consuming and it takes everything to produce. But now that we're kind of in a more comfortable space, I'm able to kind of take a step back and do what my calling is in my heart. So, yeah.
Yes. Can you just ask the question one more time
So
before it's my turn?
how do you balance your creative career as a musician with like the curation of your event, the maintenance of your event that requires a lot of times requires us to be present for it?
Okay. I would definitely say teamwork, education, and SMART goals. Teamwork, because I feel like even as creatives, sometimes we feel like it's a flex to do everything by ourselves. And it's like not. It's like we're overworking ourselves. I mentioned my team earlier, and I had to note how it came about because, again, I wasn't like going to, I don't know, DC mixers and looking and networking and shaking hands. I was just kind of doing we stumbled across each other and we vibe check. Cause it's like, who are you? You know, like our gifts and the things that we hold near and dear to us are like our children. So it's like, I got to make sure I trust you and that you see that it's not just me, it's me and my kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's not everybody is like a master at the things that you need. I mean, we're all still learning. We're not masters of anything yet. So just people who like have the passion and the willingness to just chime in, we just kind of help each other along the way. For the most part, like we're playing multiple positions. Like I said, I used to work at Zara. I used to work for the YMCA. I would get off work and maybe Lena wouldn't be able to come in. So I would be there like running the event and talking with the musicians and making sure people got paid. And then during the pandemic, when I was like, I don't know how we're supposed to do this, then other people, I swear they just rose from the ashes, like came out of nowhere, like, no, we see what you're doing. We see how we want to pick it up. You know, we're not necessarily in it for the money right now. We see the bigger picture, and then people just start going on board. And it's those conversations, just like, you know, well, I just need some help with stuff. And like I said, you just have a friend who's better with computers or typing or using Canva than you know? And it starts off small like that. The education piece, it was really like understanding that being an event curator or like this type of entrepreneur is like completely, it's similar, but it's not the same as being an artist. Like there's a lot of different like tiers and logistics that you have to be some sort of knowledgeable about, or at least have somebody around that can help you translate. Because it gets sticky and finicky real quick. Like you got a lot of friends who are talented and good at playing instruments until it's time for somebody to show up on time. And then it's like, because we have that artist and homie dynamic, you're not even being taken as seriously when you're trying to enforce these boundaries. And so it's like, you know, that education is not only in books, it's just like education / enlightenment on just like, okay, I got to figure out what this switch is. It's like, damn, I don't want to be a grown up, or I don't want to have to be serious like that. But it's like, find your version, because you deserve that respect. This brand deserves the respect. And it also opens your eyes to like people's view of the world and the view of you in a grand scheme. Not Alex the homie, like Alex Vaughn of AV Sessions. So I think just educating yourself and really stepping into your role is something that really helped me kind of have a clear difference between my creative life and me as an entrepreneur. And then the SMART goals. My dad has been teaching me this since I was a kid. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So I think another thing that really helped to keep these things separate is being all of those things to the brand, because you'll have all these big plans and dreams. Because at first, you know, in my head, I was like, yeah, I want AV session. I want to open mic every week. Who's got that kind of? Slow down, hey, down. It's like just figure out like your realistic bandwidth. Even though you have people who are willing to help and extend their resources, we can only do with so much. Everybody has their own lives and their own dreams that they're chasing, and we're working off of peanuts, right? So it's like you kind of have to be aware and be grateful for what you're working with at that time, and just work it and just trust that these are the seeds to kind of like build it to something bigger. So I think what really kept me like able to balance is one, like having people that I was able to trust who were willing to bet on me and I them, and not everybody's perfect. Setting SMART goals so I'm not overwhelming myself or overwhelming my team with the resources that we have. Because, I mean, the venues that I've been able to work with, I'm super grateful. And they've been doing us favors. And as time passes, we can renegotiate a little bit. And they renegotiate too. And the asks change. And I must stress, I don't make anything from these, okay? I don't walk away with nothing but a good selfie. I'm saying that. It's like, no, it's like, yeah. But, Yeah, the SMART goals, just like setting an realistic expectation, just educating yourself, and just accepting the new position that you're stepping into, because it's not. It's a different. It helps enhance your artistry, because it's like you're learning a new level of boss that you might not even have known you possess. It's like you're building new muscles, and everybody knows, for all the people who work out, like Rihanna, we work out together. That's why I said that. You just have to train your muscles, and it's achy and it's painful and it's tiring, but you do become stronger, and you notice as you like have the conversations with people who are trying to challenge that bigger picture. That's enough. All right, that's all though.
Can't lie, I am terrible at balancing my artistry and balancing my event. I think that there were some years where it was easier than others, because, you know, when it goes from being like a community center event to being something where it's like, oh, like the venues are getting a little bit bigger, oh, the band is getting a little bit bigger, and it's just like when all of the elements started to expand, it started to become like, oh, like John said, a full year lift, where like for number 2, I planned it in 2 weeks. So not only was my time being allocated to that, my resources too. So I think that switch was also a big thing, where it was like, this show first started in order to raise money so I could make art. And then it started to become, oh, all of my money goes towards this show. And I think that has been something that I've had to kind of like come to grips with recently, where it's like, oh, like, this isn't the most financially like sustainable like at all. Wow, like like this actually isn't smart to do this at all. So then it kind of becomes like, okay, so what are you doing it for in that case? It's like, oh, like this is something that you really love, and it's really in your art, and in your heart. And I think that luckily for me, as much as I like platform other artists to perform, as y'all know if y'all been to the show, I really get to perform. Like this is like my biggest performance of the year. Like I put on like a show, and I put my heart and soul into it. And I think that because of that, I think that that's what I get from the artistry side, where it's like, oh, I'm learning about myself as a performer. I'm reflecting on my year. I'm like presenting these songs that like I'm still having trouble releasing after all these years. But I'm still like finding a way to like bring them to life in front of my audience. So like I think that that's where my artistry like gains something. But at the same time, I think that I have to take like a really earnest look, because I think that another thing about what Alex was saying about community, right, where it's like the people who help you, the people who are a part of your journey and like pour into your event just as much as you do. The thing about like working with family and friends sometimes is like everyone's life evolves too. So I had friends who were helping me when I first started, where it's like they gave me 100% of their everything. And it's like, oh, this is our baby. And then they have real babies. And it's like, oh, okay, this was like your stepkid. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool because you still love your stepkids. You still love your stepkids. But you got a real baby. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like your firstborn and like going to college, and it's like you got a baby that you got to like do all of like the like you have to be more present for that for. And it's like there are like internal conversations, external conversations, things you have to come to grips with, where it's just like, oh, like, yeah, like, you know, I want to be this like world famous like rapper, but like you deserve to have a master's degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like having those kind of conversations too. So not only balancing your artistry, but balancing your real life, balancing other people's real lives, especially when you don't have money to pay. Because as much as you love it, as much as they love it, money, we all need money at the end of the day. So it's just like also like balancing that. But when, like I said, back to artistry itself, because I can go on in all these different directions. But when it comes to artistry, I think that for a long time, I was curating this event as like a project of love, a project, and thinking that like it was pushing my artistry forward. And like I said, it is in a way, right? But it wasn't until the Summer Circle Festival where I actually had my friends pull me to the side and like give me like a harsh reality, where they were like, you're putting these events together so you don't have to release music. Oh. I thought we were celebrating. I thought we were having a good time. They're like, no, good job. Great event. Loved it. But I see you. I see what you're doing. And I was just like, they were like, no, like putting events together is really, really hard. Like this is an incredible feat that you're doing, but it's easier to you than putting out music. And I was like, okay, this is an intervention. Cool. And so then when they opened my eyes with that, that's when I kind of started looking at this differently in a way where it's like, as much as I love this, there also is like a timeline or maybe seasons for this. That's why like number 10 is like so important, because I'm taking a little break after this to focus on my artistry.
Hey.
But that was like a really, really, really hard decision for me, because like I love it so much, even though it drains the life out of me putting it together. So that was my little spiel. You know?
Thank you. Hey man, the candidness, I'm really loving it from you guys. I'm really loving it.
Can I add one more thing that could be helpful to folks?
You said what now?
Can I add one more thing that could be helpful
Of
for
course.
folks that's on that? As of lately, my whole life is kind of on a schedule, like a routine. I've been taking it back to like elementary school. So like Monday, I'll do like festival stuff. Tuesday is like me in the studio. Wednesday, whatever. That might be helpful to some folks. Just having that discipline and having that physical schedule really has helped me to like stay focused.
I'm not gonna hold you.
And to piggyback on that real quick, if you do have like, ADHD and things of that nature, being on a schedule and having little post-it notes and providing yourself with some sort of discipline and regimen, it is like a drastic game changer. So, and I'm saying this as someone who has like post-it notes saying pack a lunch on the fridge, which at first made me feel like childish, but it's like, girl, you gotta meet yourself where you are and create something that works for you, and then you'll build that muscle memory, then you can evolve to the next level of whatever that is. So
Yes.
routine.
Routine.
Forget to take care of yourself when you're doing this.
So easy.
Say
to
that on the
forget.
mic, please.
Yeah, say it on
I'm
the
saying
mic.
it's very easy to forget to take care of yourself when you're doing this. Like when you're
So
like
easy.
in your passion projects and you're really like head down and like I'm grinding. Then you look up and it's 8:00 and you haven't eaten. You know what I'm saying? So like that's also really, 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 really imperative to like put your processes and schedules and routines is the word I'm looking for. Routines are super important when like chasing this, because it's like artistry, and then like this curation thing is a whole nother job. So like for the people who work a job and then are trying to be an artist and trying to curate, good luck. Okay, good luck.
All right, so that resonates so deeply, the scheduling part and like finding out what works for you, because I can feel my mental health impacted by the balancing act or lack thereof. So like I have friends that help me with all of this stuff that I'll be trying to make happen, right? The podcast especially. My best friend is the producer of the podcast. Hello, Kramer.
Cream.
And like she'll catch me when I'm like out of whack on a personal level. She's like, bro, have you been writing tasks down? Have you been taking notes of the things that you like? Write down all these goals. Write down this thought. Okay, you got a schedule. Have you been writing in your schedule in your calendar and keeping track of things? Because if I'm not even getting it out of my head, then it feels like it's like congestion in your mind, and like you want to blow your nose but you can't. So like I don't know if that helps anybody, but like write the ideas out, get them out of your head. Because sometimes you're thinking, oh, I got to do this thing, I got to do that thing, I got to do that thing. And you're balancing so much, and you're driving yourself crazy by accident trying to manage everything. So, yeah. You about to say something else, ain't you?
I was gonna say I agree, man. My notebook is everything. It's my legacy too.
Yeah.
Showcasing that process.
Wait,
Okay.
we all write stuff down, everything down?
I write everything down. I journal,
I have like
voice
100
note,
notebooks.
napkin.
Voice
and
notes.
And I-
Napkins.
Huh?
Napkins.
No, seriously.
Gotta get it out.
I've written on barf bags on the plane, like and I always feel like I have something to say and write down when I don't have access to getting it out for real. So anything, it doesn't even have to be profound. When I first started journaling, I've been journaling for a long time, but like when I first started journaling, like, you'd see like, the post, I don't know, Instagram, Pinterest, and it's just like, wow, that just seems so poetic. It's like, girl, it's not for that. It's just for you to get some shit off. So even if it's one word, even if it's some scribble, even if it's in crayon, if it's just like chicken scratch, like that's how you plant that little seed. You know what I'm saying? Seeds be small. So just don't downplay whatever comes to your brain and write it down.
Right.
And get it out of your head. Because sometimes when things get stuck in your head, it gets just bogged up and fogged up by other things, and you almost like convince yourself that it doesn't deserve its space, or it doesn't deserve to come out. And that could be a song, that could be an idea, that could be a reminder. Like you just overwhelm yourself with a chore. You know what I'm saying? So just get it out. Even if you I want a Big Mac, just get it out. Get it out.
Well,
On that note, because we're not even about to try to decipher that. We're not about to try to decipher that.
Paper,
All right, I'm gonna move on to the third section. I'm gonna try to like keep this quick because we got a couple other things we want to do. We want to do Q&A if you guys got questions. So give us just a second, right? Or 2 seconds. Section 3.
Okay.
Segment 3.
Future.
The future. As quickly as possible because we on the clock.
Okay, I got you.
What is your biggest vision for the future of your platforms?
Okay. Number 1, I moved the inner circle for my birthday because I should not be this stressed on my birthday.
Facts.
It's
a
crazy. It's a
celebration.
crazy idea. It's a very crazy idea. Maybe another month.
Maybe leave the maybe the whole other time.
2, bring the summer circle back. And bring it back and have it grow to be like a flog gnaw, like have it be on that level, but the festival, like, but still keep that like this is a local music festival for us. So like I want to bring our legends, like I want Wale, I want Ari Lennox, I want the people who deserve their flowers to like get their flowers from us and have it be like a 3-tiered like event. So it's like we have the people who are just starting out have access to perform at the Summer Circle. People who have been doing it and are like gaining momentum, and then we have our legends. And if anybody from outside of this area wants to ever do the Summer Circle, they got to be making music with our legends, unless they will never headline this show. And that's how I want to carry it.
Period.
Period.
You want to go next? I can go next. You want to go?
Go ahead.
For me, with AV sessions, I definitely want to take AV sessions like worldwide. I'd love to take AV sessions on the road. Like I've been inspired, like just being on panels like this and just networking with creators that are I'm not gonna say way younger, that's crazy, that are in school. And they're like, oh my God, I would love to like, bring the poetry club here. You guys come to Morgan State or, go to Bowie State, or even like there be, pop-ups at festivals or flea markets where there's just like the AV sessions tent and people can come on the mic and like do that. Even like, those series like in New York where people just come sit at the table. Like I would love to do something like that where AV sessions can be carried worldwide, because there's so many areas and cities and states, and I've learned this from like touring, like that don't have as much resource as we do. And people always talk about how the DMV has little but vast, but little but vast. There's people who have like little and little. And I would love to just like provide a platform for them to just, create their network and get visibility and believe that they are visible. Because it's easy to just like convince yourself that nobody sees you, or you've missed your window, or like you're not good enough or not enough to perform with a band or whatever. So I would love to just see like AV sessions, like, I don't know, in Tokyo or something. With financial abundance, okay? Because we're not fish frying to get us across the country. I'd love for it to be a financially sustainable platform.
Facts.
Specific.
Smart goals. I hear you.
Hello?
All right, John. Where you at in the future?
Kind of a mix of both, but something I've been working on privately. And I've talked about it before. It is louder. I talked about it before, but like everything I'm doing now is to like own the next Disney World in 10 years. So I'm trying to do a theme park. And if you like look at our, say it again. Aren't they rebuilding Six Flags in like another part of Bowie? Did I misread that?
I haven't heard that rumor.
Okay.
Cannot confirm. But
somebody fact check that.
The amusement park ground is about to be abandoned, brother. You need to like hop in there and put a little bid in.
Don't get me started.
Give them $5 in like a 5-piece, some rice.
I see. It's coming soon. It's a lot to that process, and I spoke to a roller coaster architect, and like just to see the whole process. It's a lot to it, especially with on the insurance end. So we shall see. Yeah.
For the future. To the future.
Hey.
All right. So before we get to the Q&As, I got something for y'all, and I wanna like
A gift?
Money?
technically, it's an emotional gift.
Emotional gift.
What? Ew. It's like Becky's. Can you pass it down to John? Don't look at it. Can you pass this one to? Yeah.
I feel like it's about to be something on the crazy on the other side.
So there's a picture on the other side of this. and I want you to look at it and just kind of reflect on who you were in that picture.
Whoa.
Ah, got you.
Whoa.
All right, so like reflect on it. Maybe even show the squad, show the crew. They want to see it. It's not a giant picture. I'm not gonna hold you.
You gonna pass this around?
Oh yeah, pass it around. That's fire. Yeah.
I can. At that age, I was 17. I just came to DC for the first time. I performed with an artist named Moody. What's her name now? Alicia. Yeah, and we did like a So Far Sounds, and I was her guitar player. And then I met Kasim, who he had the best outfit. He was very bodacious, very loud. Yeah, and then I ended up producing like all of his music. We did like Camry, which ended up being like a DC classic. I know, and then I got to meet Al Mojo, and I went to y'all show at, I think, the other Bird spot. And then I joined Oy Slice Band.
Songbird.
Yeah. Then I joined Oy Slice Band, and we did some of your sessions. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So that photo is like, I was young and bald.
All right.
That's so far connected all of us like that.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I'm scared to flip this picture. I'm not even gonna look at it first.
No. You got to.
I gotta look at it first.
You got to.
I'm gonna cry, baby. Come on.
Sorry.
Wow, look at that.
I'm gonna pass it around to the class.
Dude, I was literally in high school.
That's cute. That's
I was in jail. I was in high school.
I got Nardwar on the payroll.
And it's so funny. I went to Suitland, and thank you. I was part of the VPA program. You know, Suitland's in Forestville, but I did not live in Forestville. I lived like deep in Brandywine. My parents was hella strict. All my friends would be going to like the CFE after school. And you know, being an adult now, I totally understand why I was not allowed to go to an all-age club. But all I would do was be at home on that keyboard. We had a piano downstairs, but sometimes, you know, my parents were like, all right, good job, that's enough, please. We tired, we don't want to hear that no more. So I'd be in my room, like, recording, and you see the little pictures on the wall, because that was a thing. That just really time stamped it. But that's where I created some of my first songs, little heartbreak songs when I was 15. And crazy enough, some of those songs have seen the light of day.
What would you say to that person in that picture?
Oh, girl. It's like, I would say to that girl, like, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Thank you for the foundation you've laid out for me. Because to this day, I think I still have that keyboard, which is very trippy. I absolutely still have that keyboard. And that's kind of how it all started. I mean, it technically started with a piano versus a keyboard. But that keyboard in those moments and just being in my room and not being able to be in the scene and just be with myself and with the things that truly are always there for me are how I'm always able to create my best work. So shout out to that beanie that I had on. Shout out to that.
Before we move on to Slice, John, what would you say to that person in the picture that you had just now, like before you passed it away?
First, I get that nigga a hug, cause bro was down bad. Just telling him, you know, everything is all right. It's all working out. That, you know, just to keep pushing through, cause those moments when you're kind of just in this dark tunnel, you don't see the ending, and it sounds crazy to everyone else. All your ideas are delusional because no one else has done it. It's really tough to get through those moments, especially when there's no financial backing. Like, I was spending all my money I had to get Love Group off the ground. And it was definitely worth it. But yeah, just telling them just to keep going and keep learning from your mistakes. And it's okay to fail. Failing is just going to help you learn and just get better next time.
Okay, you know whose turn it is.
I feel like it's something trifling under here. I'm not gonna lie.
Gold.
Oh, this is a great picture. This is a great picture.
I'm glad you feel that way. Where's my photo at?
Even the edit on the picture hurt.
No, I
Like,
ain't gonna lie. Like, this is definitely one of the greatest moments of my life. Like, high key.
Hold on.
Listen, look.
aww.
I'm gonna pass it around. Y'all can see that.
That was a
What's the story behind that?
So
So when I was in college, I was like the rapper on campus. Like I was doing my thing, doing my big ones. Like from the second I stepped on campus, I was doing like open mics and like once a month people would come down to the juke joint and they would see me rap and I would look forward to it. Like it was like my concert before like I ever really was booking shows. And yeah, my friend won Battle of the Bands and he was just like, I'm about to open up for Big Sean and Wale and it just would not feel right without having you be beside me. And I was like, no fucking way. No way, because I don't know if y'all know, like I feel like I've left that era, but like if you know like real like O-Slice lore, when I tell you obsessed with Big Sean, obsessed with Jonathan, like it was crazy how much I loved that man. Oh my God, like you could not tell me nothing about Big Sean, like. And just to know that not only was it him and then like Wale, like an artist I respected so much, getting to do that in front of like my friends and my family. Like my mom made like handmade T-shirts for my friends, like with like glitter, like O-Slice's mom, proud mom, and like that's yeah.
I love that. What would you say to that person?
You're on the right track. Like literally, like everything that you believe to be about your journey and your path, like you're correct. You're correct, and never shy away from it.
Affirmation.
Can I add like a question, even though I'm not the moderator?
For sure.
What do y'all think the person in that picture would say to you?
I ate that, y'all. Thank you for coming to my class.
Go ahead.
Real talk time. Girl, I know you getting tired. Girl, I know you getting older. I know that like, you don't have as much energy as you used to. Like, even though you still feel very passionate about your dream, life is lifing really hard. But as much as you believed in me then, believe in yourself now.
I'm not going second, I'm sorry.
The asker.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think Lil Jon would be. Yeah.
Sorry.
She couldn't help the intrusive thoughts at all. I think they'd be incredibly joyous, especially just on the music tip. Like the fact that I have an Emmy I won it at like 24 is crazy.
Very.
The fact that I got to do like Firefly Festival, which was like insane. That was a life-changing moment, and get to travel all around. And the fact that the festival itself, my festival, ended up becoming what it is, and like 2 years from now, we can like stand next to Broccoli City. Like that's insane. Like that we came this far and that we didn't give up on it. So I think he would just like jaw drop, just like wow. Yeah.
You want? You want more time to think? I go for me. I ain't
Yeah, you go next.
Yeah. 'Cause I know you wanted to go last. I know.
What would Lil Wayne? What would Lil Wayne say to Big Wayne?
A younger Nomad would say, "Damn, you doing all that, nigga? Damn."
Facts.
When do you sleep? Right? When do you sleep? Younger me would be proud, but also like, all right, we used to get more sleep, bro. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a lot, and I'm proud of you for doing a lot, but pour into yourself. Continue to pour into yourself. Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. That's
Yeah.
what young me would say. Your turn.
I think young me would first just be like very much in awe and shook that we even know each other. Like, girl, not you, me. And I think she would tell me like, make sure you keep me with you at all times. Because again, like, she wouldn't say, I made you, girl, but she would remind me that like, you know, the younger me who kind of didn't believe that these things were possible, she really is like shook that we have made a lot of things happen. Not even from changing. It's from just evolving and still being that same little girl. So just like girl, keep me close and like maintain us, keep us alive. We're doing it for the us's. You're doing it for me and all my friends, and you're doing it for me in my thoughts that be in that little bedroom. So I think she would say to just, just girl, don't ever leave me. Keep me with you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Aww.
Aww. And girl, please help me evolve from this beanie and these edits.
Get out of here. All right. So I want to open it up to the room. Do you guys have any questions about like your ambitions or your projects, your platforms that you're trying to build or want to build one day that you want to ask our amazing panelists? Any thoughts, comments, questions? Even if you want to say, I love you so much. Like, you can raise a hand.
You can say it after.
Ray?
Hi. Check. Hi, I'm Rayante. I'm an aspiring rapper.
You're not aspiring.
Also, you guys peers.
You're not aspiring, you're a rapper.
I'm a rapper now. I wasn't always a rapper, so when you guys were starting up, I was always watching from the crowd, and I was always there for pretty much everything that you guys have said, at story time. So it always took me back down memory lane. I'm about to drop my first album.
Yep.
You are.
I've thrown one show since I have started rapping, and I've always wanted to like kind of know, because I did everything kind of by myself at the old coffee shop. But I wanted to know, how did you guys network into getting more shows, networking into getting more spaces so it's not always at the same space, but also creating a community so that you know that when you did announce that a show was happening, you kind of didn't have to worry about the first X amount of people that was going to be there.
Okay, I would say not being afraid to start small. And then also don't compare your beginning to someone else's like 10th chapter or 11th or 15th chapter. Or their beginning. Honestly, like I think that quick aside about like competition and like, right? I think that sometimes people are like, being competitive is like not good. I think that being competitive is good when you're competition and you're not looking at anybody else. So if your first show, if it's 30 people in a space that accommodates 30 people, that's a success, right? And then at the next one, aim for 35, 40, 50. But I think that sometimes people are really afraid to start small because they're like, oh, like if 10 people, 15 people show up, like that's like embarrassing or whatever, right? But not realizing it's like, that's literally just your start. And from this point forward, you can build upon whatever you just did. So I think that not being afraid to start small. I think that for your first shows, the people that are going to come out most are your friends and family. I think that people like sometimes have this vision where it's like, when I announce it, oh, the streets gonna love this. Like they gonna, like it's gonna sell out next week. Like it's not no, and it's like no. You're gonna individually text your friends and family and tell them, I'm having this thing, and not only am I having this is really important to me. So come to this thing that's really important to me and see what I've been doing with my time and my energy and my heart. And I think that leaning on that, especially for the first one, second one, third one, by the time it's fourth, you got to start getting some fans in there because then friends and family get a little tired. But I think that like realizing that there's a trajectory and not having to put all the pressure on the first one or the second one, I think is really helpful in order to just kind of like be wherever your feet are and have realistic expectations. Don't book a venue that's 100 people when you're pulling out 20, 30. Get a venue that's for 20, 30 and pack it out. And feel good about that when the videos look all nice and it's not an empty room. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that like just like being realistic with yourself, also showing up for other people's stuff, and you're really good at that. Like you're always front row at everybody's shit. So also like genuinely cultivating a community that like when you do something, it's like, nah, there's no way I can't pull up for Ray. Like I have to be there. So I think that those are like the ones that come to the top of my head.
I would also say, don't be afraid to work sideways, and I hope that doesn't come out wrong, because it's like, yeah, there are like those platforms that seem like, man, that'd be great, that'd be a great space, the capacity is big, a lot of cool people be in that space, but you have cool friends as well, and we, most of your friends at PG have backyards, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there are ways to get creative in creating your own immersive space. And I feel like we're kind of entering a space where, one, DC is becoming like not even that safe. So just getting creative and just like the ways that you can work with the things that you do have. Also, don't be afraid of those random gigs either. Because I remember very, very clearly, and I used to be blown. Because like, I want to be in spaces where my peers are. But my first, like, I'm going to say 10 gigs in the city were like at Oyster Bar. Could respect the Oyster Bar. But it was like, that's an older crowd. Like I was performing for like older people, but older people could pay. They have money and they'll give you food, you know? So let, like, you know, just remember like the root of why you're doing these performances, and it's just to like gain experience and just like to express the things that you love. And I don't want to say be grateful for the people that are there, but definitely don't take the people who do show up for granted. Because this is like Slice said, it's just a stepping stone. And people eventually, like, it's just the nature of the game. But it's like people will start to see like how you're making any space seem fun or any space seem immersive, any space feel intimate and special. And then they figure out how they want to be part and then have the audacity to say that they were there first. So I think you just have to like stay true to like your mission and your why. And no matter how random, how big or how small, they will present themselves.
Should I do this, Mike?
Baby ass Mike.
Baby ass Mike. I would say definitely all of the above, and you know, create the content, tell your story, utilize what you have, like your phone. You don't always got to pay for a videographer if you don't got the funds for it. I feel like telling your authentic story, telling people what the album's about, what your character's about would definitely build the audience for yourself, and people will want to show up and people will share online on top of everything else. And just being genuinely kind to people, because you really never know who's going to become who. Because I remember one of my first shows in 2015, there was this woman named Renee there, and did the show. To me, I thought it was bad. She kept following me, stayed in contact. She ended up becoming a really big person on this big company, the company with the mouse, and she got me like a really big opportunity from that. I'm not supposed to talk about it, so I'll let you put in context of what you think that is.
I wonder what you mean.
Because you really never know. So like, I feel like every show you gotta go all the way out, no matter what, because there's people in the audience that could change your life years down the line. And I feel like my whole career is literally based on those relationships, and where I thought people didn't care, it was like, oh no, they actually did, and they followed through. So yeah.
And they don't always look like the people who move and shake. They be just
Normal.
random and normal, just like us. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
So definitely always just be your best self. Don't downplay an experience because you don't feel like the people are there, because you have no idea.
And just to piggyback off of that, like, you really never know. That open mic that I was saying I was doing in college, half of the brand partnerships that I've done now have been because somebody saw me in college, they got a big girl or big boy job, and they were like, get O-Slice. So it's like really being like your authentic self and not being like too cool to like do it 100% no matter where you are. Because people, like, if you leave an impression, it will carry on in people's lives that may have never even spoken to you, but like they remember you.
Facts. All right. I want open.
Congrats on the album, man.
Somebody else got a question, Mike?
How y'all doing?
Hey.
First of all, thank y'all so much for y'all time and just giving your wisdom and your insight and your journeys. I go by the name of Soleil Lassage, and I'm a Black noise artist from MoCo.
Hey.
I wanted to ask, it's a little bit of a two-parter, but the first part was, what would you all deem as your North Star, and how do you keep that North Star in the midst of your adversity and your challenges, and when you do get those no's and when you feel like discouraged or you don't have community? What is that North Star? If you feel comfortable obviously sharing it, but what is that to you in your way, and how do you keep that central when you're facing adversity?
Great.
Oh, these guys are great. These are loaded. I would say my North Star is definitely my inner child. I think she has the most imagination. She created from a place of curiosity solely, not fear, not even with fears, it was just like curiosity and like I'm gonna just do what I can with what I got. And I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna shoot for the stars. I feel like that mentality has always protected me, and it's always given me a hug when I feel doubtful and when I get those no's. Because as you continue to progress, you're gonna start experiencing some of what you created to be your biggest fears. And I feel like once you face those biggest fears, now it's your chance to like be a hero for yourself. And some people like to get like hypercritical and really hard, and I just feel like the only person who can give me a hug is the little girl who kind of started this whole train. So I would say my inner child is my North Star. I used to say like, oh man, I gotta get the Grammy. It's the Grammy Best New Artist. These are still things that I want and plan to achieve. But it's really the inner child that is just like blessed to be in the space, glad that people even want to hear my voice at all, and love what I'm hearing and what I'm doing, even if no one's listening or if I'm not allowed to leave the house for other people to hear it. So I'd say my inner child is my North Star.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one. Retweet. But also, I think that, so there's like this thing in the Bible where it says that like God has given us all like our individual talents and our gifts, and it's our job to like go out and multiply them. And I think that, so I've been rapping since I was 9. And I think that to have that level of like conviction and like, this is what I'm supposed to do, and then to see the rest of my life turn it, like mold into like affirming that, where it's like, okay, I do my first talent show and I win, you know, or like I go to this place where no one knows me and like I see the reaction that they have to what I'm doing, where like this like crazy idea in my head like every day becomes a lot like less crazy, where it's like, wow, like not to say I was joking, like I wasn't, but like it was like there was a time where this was crazy. This is no longer crazy. So like really just kind of falling back on like, okay, God, you did not put me on this earth to be regular. I know that. And like not being shy about feeling like that or saying that, but then also making sure that that doesn't go to my head in a way where it's like, okay, well, if you're not regular, then you have a big job to serve others as well as you're ascending. That's also your responsibility. So just feeling conviction in my gift and knowing that it's a gift and I have to do something with the gift that I was given.
Retweet that as well.
Retweet. What's it called now? Is it even retweet now?
It's Twitter. It's still Twitter.
I celebrate all my wins, even little things like just getting out of bed, because I remember a time when getting out of bed felt so difficult to do. And I kind of see it as like if you're like traveling across the country, I see it as like getting gas, like for the car to keep on moving. Those little wins gives me more motivation to keep going to wherever my bigger goal is. So I hope that. I forgot what the original question was. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say gratitude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sorry, one more thing, because you talking about the adversities, right? Oh, you know what I'm saying? We hoarding them, my bad. But when it comes to the adversity, I think that once again, falling back on like knowing that it's a gift, I think that I have like thousands of accountability partners, because the one thing about like chasing your dream very, very publicly is like no one forgot that you said that. So even in the moments where I feel like low, I could have somebody I haven't spoken to in 6 years be like, when's the last time you dropped a song? Thank you for that, actually. I really appreciate that. But like at the same time, it's like I literally feel like there's just not a world where I could give up. There's not because it's like not only would I be disappointing myself, I feel like I would be disappointing everybody who bought a ticket to number 1 through 10. I'd be disappointing my family and friends who no longer call me by my real name. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like knowing when you live boldly in your truth, in your dream, in your desires, in your, like when you stand out there, it could feel very scary, but then you also have like a million people holding you up like this. So I think that like just not being afraid to like claim what you feel like is yours and boldly chasing it, even in the moments where you don't feel like it's going great.
Sorry, Avi. So we need to wrap up. I know. Life is really hard.
One
like
more
that.
question?
Yeah, we got like
3? Even odd 3?
What's the squad say? What's the team? The team.
like
that
one person
I just see hands raised. That's what I see.
can answer. Like we don't all have to answer
Touche.
each question.
Okay, yeah.
Wait,
All right, so
Are we allowed? All right, just toss the mic in the air.
How y'all doing? My name is Tyler, musician,
Like a
artist.
bouquet.
This is for John. Quick question. I am now trying to record with like my band and things of that nature. Oh, pull it back. Thank you. I am now trying to record like my band, and I'm having issues with studios. Did you create relationship with studios as you went along, or are you like built your own space to like be able to go to the studio like fairly often?
Yeah, we did a lot of things in my mom's apartment, to be honest with you. The only thing that we would do at a studio is drums. But in your case, it's a bit different because you're like a band, and I was kind of like a solo artist, so I can record the bass, piano, guitar, have the musicians in my house, and drums we would do in the actual studio. But yeah, of course, I make friends with everybody, just, you know, to have those relationships. I know the studios here is crazy expensive. You know, come to Baltimore, you can get a studio $30 an hour or something. The whole band at Moose House. Yeah, Moose House is probably the way to go. They got everything, the drum set, piano, organ, guitars, amps. Yeah, all of that.
okay. Who else? Who else got a question? You got one?
It's a quick question. My name is Leo Masonics, a big fan of Alex Vaughn and O'Slice as well, John Tyler. I'm also a musical artist, hip-hop artist, and I have a hip-hop program for kids called Clan of Futuristic Artists. I just have a simple question. I guess this would be for O'Slice. How do you feel about the current space, the music space of the DMV? I guess that's literally plain for a question. How do you like the community? Like, you know, there's, you know, we got people that's, you know, up and coming like me and everybody else in the room, and then we got like you, and then we got like the legends, like you said. Yeah. So literally, how do you feel about it?
Is this a setup?
I did not plant him. I did not plant him in the audience.
Keep it honestly cute, but cutely honest.
Nah, yeah.
Okay, listen, no PR. So the reason why everybody's nervous is because I felt like for a long time I was Mrs. DMV. I'm like, yo, this like, I'm bringing the community together. I love this area. This is the best area. Da 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 da. You would never hear me like ever have nothing bad to say about the area because I still think we're the most talented. I still think that we're the most innovative. I still think that we have the best taste. There's so much good about this area from the talent side, from the grassroots side, from the community side. But then there's another side. And on the other side, where it's like, there's no funding for anything. Or when there is funding, it's super political. Or there are some venues that aren't accessible to people, even people like me that have been putting events together for 10 years and have the numbers to back it up, and they still like act like your event is nothing, even though it means so much to the people in the room. So I think that like, as much as I love this area, I do think that we definitely have a lot of infrastructure issues that I remember people used to tell me maybe 5 to 8 years ago, and I just wouldn't listen because I'm like, I'm a bloom where I'm planted. I'm a be the one to like raise us from the ashes and da 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 da. I'm tired, bro. And like the mission is still the same, the passion is still the same, but the way that I think about going about the things that I do has to be more efficient for my mental health. And I think that that's actually a big reason why I wanted to put this together today, to show people like on the outside, it looks like roses and dandies. Every time you show up to my event, you're gonna have the time of your life. You're gonna have a good time. Yeah, listen, next week y'all gonna have a good time. But on the other side, I have to be honest, it's exhausting. It takes a lot of willpower. It takes a lot of mental strength. It takes a lot of mental fortitude. And if you have the right people around you, it is very possible. But I will not lie to you and pretend like making it out of this area is not incredibly difficult.
Facts. Hey.
Well spoken. I'll take it. Thank you.
But I love this area, and we do have the skill set. Like if it was just up to the artists and like us like loving one another and supporting one another, everybody would be out of here. Everybody would, because like there's a misconception that there's like crabs in a bucket. There is like a level of like hate, but that's not the factor that's keeping us down. Look at this room right now. We posted it, and 2 days later, y'all all got the RSVPs. There is support from the artists. There are people who really genuinely care, but there are things that we need as a community. We need money. We need spaces. We need resources. We need cheap studios. We need so many things that we don't have right now. We need practice spaces that don't cost $200 to be inside of. There are things that we need, and like I think that if we spoke to each other a little bit more, we could figure out a little bit more. But there are certain things that that all the willpower in the world at this moment still wouldn't create overnight.
It's
He's gonna talk real fast. He's gonna talk fast. Talk fast.
Oh no, because I was gonna ask a question actually.
Hey, so like, I'm not gonna hold you. We can keep the conversation going after the camera's good. I love you guys. I love you guys.
Okay.
And I'm really loving the vibe. I love, like I said, I'm a creative conversationalist. So this type of shit is like, this gasses me up, and I hope it's gassing you up as well. But you know what I mean. Before we wrap it up, I want to reiterate my thanks. Right? I know. Yeah. So like, I want to say thank you to St. James Tea Company. Right? St. James Tea. I want to say, oh, there they go. It's looking pretty for the cameras. Ooh.
They did sponsor this. Organic.
We got to get them
flavored. Zero sugar.
Facts.
0 calories.
Pretty
A little
packaging.
sweetness to it.
I want to extend another thank you to Higher Learning because they helped put this whole thing together. Shout out to the team. Hey. Yes. So I want to give another thank you again to Birdland Records for hosting us in this beautiful space, accommodating us. I want to thank y'all. We want to thank y'all for coming and being a part of this and reaffirming community. And I want to thank God. That should have been the last thank you. But I want to shout out and say thank you to my squad, the Snippet Podcast. Thank you so much for helping to record and have this for posterity. With that being said, we're going to wrap it up, baby. And if there's questions to be had and mingling to mingle, we finna do that.
And thanks to Nomad the Native for being an amazing moderator.
Thank you.
Hey, yo. Hey, son. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if so, then comment, like, subscribe, follow, disagree, whatever. I mean, this is a show by the artists for the artists. So, if you want to be featured, just hit us. There ain't nothing but an email or a DM away. Until next time, peace.